This is a Cy-Fair Sports Report. I'm Kevin Cook with the Houston Chronicle. It's Chase Perisher with Varsity Wires. To my right, Thomas Bingham of Vipe Magazine. We cover Cy-Fair ISD sports, and we do it better than anyone. Anybody else that's out there trying to do it. So if you listen to episode 2 of the Cy-Fair Sports Report, we had Ray Zapata, Cy-Fair ISD Athletic Director, on talking about the upcoming UIL realignment. So obviously right now, the 10 varsity Cy-Fair teams play in a single district, 17-6A. But in 2018, when the UIL realigns and creates new districts, there will be 12 varsity teams in Cy-Fair ISD. If you look at the rules here, which I pulled up from the UIL conference policies and procedures, multiple high school districts with 11 or more schools in the same conference, or classification as we call it, that basically means Cy-Fair ISD, 12 schools, conference 6A, must be split up into 2 or more UIL districts. So we know for a fact that it's going to get split up somehow. It's not going to be a 12-team league. And then rule number 7 is just an interesting fun one. There shall be no attempt made to perpetuate or avoid old rivalries. Socioeconomic and ethnicity factors are not considered, which is good, as it should be. So thinking about those things, obviously we know there's a split coming. Chase, I was blown away. You were telling me earlier, and I nearly cried. It was so beautiful and so perfect and worked out mathematically. I think it's absolutely how it's going to happen. Tell me, how are they going to split up Cy-Fair ISD?
I did. I have 5 schools. Almost all north of 290, Cy-Fair, Cy-Wood, Cy-Creek, Jerseyville, Cy-Falls, that's your 5 schools. Going north to Klein ISD, and they as well have 5 schools, so there's 10, that's your district. And then Bridgeland, Cy-Ranch, Cy-Park, Lamp Creek, Cy-Ridge, Cy-Lakes, Cy-Spring, Cy-Lakes, Cy-Ridge, going to Spring ISD, and they have 3 schools. So that's 7 and 3, that's 10, and then there's another league, and everybody's happy.
And it's really actually kind of elegant how it works out, right? It feels like a really good algebra problem or something, where you have the 7 teams from Cy-Fair ISD that are left over going to with those 3, because Spring 3, it's kind of idiosyncratic, so it just seems to work to me. It has a real balance to it. Geographically, if you look at it, you could also take, I think you said Cy-Ridge, you could place Cy-Falls in there, the kind of the same region, basically. That's more or less the same shift there. But Thomas, you had a radically different idea, and a very wrong one, I might add. We're very confident on this side of the table with how things are going to play out, but what do you think is going to happen?
Well, yeah, and before I get to that, you definitely have to keep the laying on. Well, of course, like you said, it's not based off of rivalries and all that stuff. But if I were to be at the UIL, I would definitely keep the Cy-Falls Langham rivalry together.
You get rid of rule number 7.
Yeah, I would absolutely. But yeah, the thing I had was my biggest concern with what they brought up, and yeah, it works out mathematically, is the travel for the western schools in Cy-Fair to go all the way to Spring. You're going from 290 all the way to 45, and whether you're going on one of the toll roads or if you're going on 1960, you're gonna be hitting traffic. It's just kind of a big haul, and so I would actually say send 3 schools on the west side, Cy Lakes, Bridgeland, and Cy Park, which happen to be the 3 youngest schools in Cy-Fair ISD. Put them with KAISD. They got 7 6A schools, or they will, in 2018. So it's a perfect fit, like we're talking about. Good 10-team district, 10-school district. And also geographically, it makes sense.
And of course, Bridgeland, Park, and Lakes have to take one for the team and go play against Katy teams, but that does seem to work out for me. And actually, as you mentioned it to me, I'm looking at the map here, that with Spring and Klein, again, I love it. I'm absolutely certain in my heart of hearts that it's going to be Spring and Klein that get paired up with Cy-Fair ISD, but that is quite a bit of travel. So you've cast some doubt. I'm not as sure as I once was. Don't bet anything, please, ever, on anything I say. But a lot of options here. I feel pretty good about Spring Klein. Obviously, you have some Katy pairings. We would love to hear what you think would be the ideal way to split up Cy-Fair ISD as they go into the 2018 realignment. So if you have thoughts on it, get to us here at the show, at Cy-Fair Report on Twitter, at Cy-Fair Report, pretty much everywhere across social media platforms, and we would love to hear your thoughts.